Hello, and welcome to this training course proudly conducted by Technology. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today. We are excited to embark on this learning journey with you. At Technology, we are dedicated to empowering professionals by providing them with cutting-edge knowledge and skills. Our comprehensive focus on artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and business applications ensures that you are well equipped to not just survive, but truly thrive in today's dynamic and rapidly evolving business world. Get ready for a delightful journey filled with fun and excitement. Your thrilling adventure awaits. But before we dive into the sessions, let me guide you through some important housekeeping rules. Your trainer will provide the detailed break schedule, including coffee and prayer breaks. Please use English names on your accounts for better interactions by our trainer. It is recommended to avoid using numerals or distinct symbols. And please ensure that your mics are muted to maintain an uninterrupted session. Adhering to the break schedule ensures seamless operations and provides everyone with a well-organized experience, keeping sessions on schedule. Let me walk you through the certification requirements process to ensure you successfully receive your certificate. If applicable, you must complete all the following steps. 1. Complete the pre- and post-assessments. These are vital to evaluate your learning progress and are required for certification. 2. Redeem the achievement code. Scan the QR code provided during the session to claim your digital badge and certificate. 3. Complete the training survey. Your feedback is essential to help us improve future sessions. Please make sure to follow all the steps carefully. If you have any questions or need assistance, don't hesitate to ask your trainer. Once again, welcome to this training program by Technology. Have a productive and enjoyable session ahead. We can't wait to see the impact you will create. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me, see me, and see my screen. Can you hear me? All right. Thank you, Hamid. All right.
Yes, we can.
Welcome to those who joined us on yesterday's webinar, and welcome to the new joiners as well. On yesterday's webinar, we discussed Microsoft 365 Copilot, mainly the Copilot application. And we announced that we have series of webinars. Every webinar has certain topic to tackle. Today's topic is the art of prompt engineering, the art of writing an effective prompt. Tomorrow we'll talk about different topic. We have product-based sessions. We have persona-based sessions lined up. I hope you registered for those as well. But if you didn't, no problem. We will share with you the registration link at the end of the session. Welcome again. My name is Ayman Khalifa, but I go on those webinars with my superhero name, which is AI Man, based on the spelling. So feel free to call me Ayman or AI Man. I like my sessions to be interactive, so please ask all the questions you want. This is the chance where we learn. No. Worst case scenario, you will ask me a question I don't know the answer to. It's a chance for me to learn something new. So let's engage and let's ask. Wonder. I want you to wonder. I want you to go like, I wonder if Copilot can do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we will try it together. Yeah. Um, for as for the agenda for this session is as follow. We will talk about prompting mainly, yeah. So we will see how to do mainly four things, yeah. Summarizing content, creating and drafting content, editing and transforming content, and then asking questions. If you think about it, everything that you do with AI tools, I mean Gen AI tools, generative AI tools, it will revolves around these 4 points. Yeah. If you're catching up with emails, where you're asking a question. If you want to summarize a meeting, well, you're creating and drafting, and so on. So we will see different activities, and to boost the engagement and to make sure that everyone is working with me, because you see this session is so interactive. Everything I do, you're gonna follow me and do the same. I will be sharing the prompts on the chat window, so keep an eye on the chat window, copy the prompts, and then use them. If you're joining us from a mobile device or an iPad or a tablet, you still can open a browser at the side, and then access Copilot, and then paste and try those prompts. Yeah. If you have the Copilot license, you will be able to follow exactly what I'm doing. I will share with you the links for the supporting documents that we will use. We have this fiction company called Contoso. So for Contoso, we have a couple of documents that we will use within our practice. So with every exercise, I will share with you a link. You will download the document and then upload it to OneDrive for Copilot to analyze it and Copilot to be able to access it, because Copilot actually sees all of your Microsoft 365 applications and data, including OneDrive and SharePoint. So before you begin the exercise, you have to download the file, upload it to OneDrive for business. Back in the days, I used to share with you a link to all of those documents, but due to our internal security policy, I can't share I can't share anything from my tenant. So I will share with you a link from Microsoft website. Right. Now, to begin the interaction, to make sure that you're working with me, let's get you scanning this QR code. And this page that you will open, you're gonna keep it. Don't close it once we're done with the first part of the activity, because we will get back to the same page with every other activity. For those who can't really scan the QR code and they still want to join us, please, on the browser, go to wooclap.com. That's the first link I'm sharing on the chat window. And then, let me just copy this one here, edit my previous message, and share a link that has the code as well to join us. 7 of you managed to join. This is brilliant. Let's see if the others are able to join. If you have any question or you're facing any difficulty, please feel free to ask on the chat window or pick the mic and speak. All right, 14. This is when I usually tell my participants that actually remind my participants that this is not a YouTube. Please don't put me on the corner of the screen and then multitask. Yeah, I need you to work with me here so we maximize the learning out of these 2 hours that we're spending together. I see some familiar names from previous webinars. All right, there's 20 of us now. 21. All right, do you have any problem signing in? Any problem signing in? 24. Okay. Let's begin then. 25, just to save time. I'm going to begin. and you still can join us through the link I shared on the chat window. So, first of all, tell us from which country are you joining this webinar? Okay. This is for you in case you still want to join. All right, welcome,
Hello.
Folusho. Yeah, and welcome, Eliza or Eliza. Okay, okay. I'm just getting. I usually filter the results before showing them, but I guess the list is clean. So we got Qatar. We got plenty of people from Qatar. Yeah. We have the Republic. We have Greece, UAE, HMC, Qatar. All right, Greece, and okay, and Qatar. So plenty of joiners from Qatar. Brilliant. All right, all right. So let's move on to the next question. Just to relate my examples, I'd like to know what is your current job role or occupation? Mu'taz is from Sudan. Welcome, homie. We got two answers here. Let's see what we have. We got engineering, project management, product management. We have a developer and a teacher, respect, and a project manager, system analyst, recruitment manager, marketing, network engineering. All right, all right. We have a mix of technical people and let's say technical people and civilians. Yeah, IT engineering. Okay, okay. Design, vascular surgery specialist. All right, all right. We have a doctor in the house. Good to hear so. Banking operation as well on the chat window over there. IT security. Awesome. Senior lecturer, doctor. Respect. Um, yep. All right, all right. So, thank you for participating in this part. I'm gonna ask you to please keep this page open until we come back again for this activity. But for now, I want to tell you something. Let me just come close. You see, there are two type of people who uses AI tools, mainly generative AI. There are those who treat AI as a tool, which means you will use the tool if it satisfies your need. Okay, if it doesn't work, you never go back to that tool again or that feature. We notice that those who treat AI this way, their creativity actually goes down by the time they use AI and with a lot of usage of AI, because they keep jumping from one tool to the other and in order to find the perfect tool. They don't like this one, they drop it, and so on. So they don't really use AI the way they're supposed to. They're not getting the benefit we're expecting from generative AI tools. But the second type of people who uses AI, they treat Gen AI as a teammate, as a colleague. when you ask a colleague to do something, or you assign one of your teammates or one of your team members a task, and then they come back with the result, you share a constructive feedback. Yeah? But before the constructive feedback, your request should be clear in the first place. So if you have a clear request, you get a result, and then you share feedback. You like this one, you don't like this one, you could have done this one better. That's how you treat your colleagues. So those who treat AI this way, they are actually getting the benefits we want from the artificial intelligence. And their creativity actually boost up or increase. All right. So with that in mind, we want to learn prompt engineering. So we're going to begin with prompting, but I just want to make sure that everyone can follow those demonstrations. So if you have the license, feel free to access any Copilot. But if you don't have the license, you can practice using copilot.microsoft.com, the free version of Copilot. There we go. I'm sharing the link for the Copilot free version on the chat window. Feel free to use it like this, but if you want to generate images and so on, you're gonna need to sign in. All right. So you can use this version, but I will use the Copilot interface. All right, let me just get my interface up and running. There we go. All right. You see, the best thing about artificial intelligence is that it's the best tool to teach you how to use this tool. You see, Excel will never teach you how to use Excel. PowerPoint will never teach you how to use PowerPoint, but AI will teach you how to use AI. So if I go to Copilot, for instance, and I start my conversation saying, "You are a prompt engineer and an expert prompt engineer." You see, this is the first rule in prompt engineering, which is defining the persona. You see, the AI has so many training data, yeah, and on top of this, Copilot has access to your corporate data. So for it to decide what section of this training data that I need to focus on, you need to specify the persona. You start by saying you're a project manager, all right? You're a system engineer. You're an IT security professional, and now I want you to do 1, 2, 3, 4. You will get better results this way. So I'm gonna start by saying you're an expert prompt engineer who helps educating employees in prompt engineering and how to write an effective prompt. All right, so I added more details to my request. Yeah, now what is the actual request? Well, generate an article about prompt engineering and engineering. All right, and add sample prompts. Remember to talk about JCSC format. All right, and I'm going to send this to Copilot, and I'm going to copy it and share it with you so you can use it as well within your Copilot. I could have prepared a slide for that, yeah, but this is better because you have the result now within your Copilot. And by the way, you can apply it in any Gen AI tool. There we go. So we have the results. Okay, still working. So meanwhile, let's review the result. So what do we have here? Mastering prompt engineering, a guide for employees. Now, what is prompt engineering? It's the way we talk to AI. All right, it's the way we talk to generative AI. It's the way we request from generative AI. You see, if you ask your kid when they come back from school, how was school? That conversation just ended because the answer will be good, done, over. But then if you were more specific and say, oh, how was school? And what did you do on that math test? Or any update from that teacher? Be more specific. You will get the conversation going and more engagement from your kid. Similarly, AI. So why prompt engineering actually matters? Because you will get what you want in a shorter time. Yeah, you will save time iterating and prompting one time after the other. All right. And then you will get more accurate results because when you mention the source of information where you want Copilot to get the data from, you reduce the margin of error and the margin of hallucination as well. Yeah. And then if you discuss with Copilot the prompt first before you issuing the final request to Copilot, you will unleash your a new aspects of innovation and creativity. Copilot will share with you characters, keywords, ideas that you did not think about. So you might include all of this in your final prompt. Yeah. So you're supposed, as I said, collaborate with Copilot as a team member, right? Now, the format that you will use in order to craft your effective prompt is called GCSC, which is specifying the goal first. What do you want from AI? All right. What do you want from AI? Well, I want to design this presentation. Brilliant idea. AI can do it. But why? Yeah, what's the context? Is it a presentation that you're presenting in front of university students or high-level executive board? You see, the language is different. I need to know the AI. I need to know the length of this meeting and so on. Yeah. This is not steps. This is supposed to be. It could be steps, yeah, but usually we refer here to the source of information. Okay, where do you want Copilot to get the information from? And then your expectations. Pass some examples to guide the AI. Say I want the data to be, or I want the tone to be authoritative. I want the data to be formatted in a table. I want it in a paragraph. I want it short, concise, and so on. All right. So these are some examples in here. Okay, but let me fix this. It's goal, and you always review after AI because they tend to make mistakes. Goal X. All right, you can go for goal and then source. Yeah, and then you go for context. It doesn't have to be on the same order, by the way. Yeah, so it's goal, source, context, and expectations. Let's fix this part. And if you have the same, yeah, okay, let me edit this part here and say, GCSC. Still insisting on getting creative and renaming it. But you got the idea. You need goal, you need context, you need a certain source, and you need expectations, right? So the article is done. Now let's create a lesson about the different prompt engineering methods and yeah, methods. Why not? And I'm going to share this with you so you can use it as well. Okay, So there you go. Introduction, why it matters. We're done with that. Now we're talking goal, source, context, and expectation. So when I said an article, it tried to get creative. All right, but then when it's a lesson now, it's more accurate. So the first thing you need to know about is called zero shot learning. By zero shot learning, this is where you ask Copilot to do something and then you don't share any examples. Yeah. Write whatever about the ocean. Okay. You want simple but well-defined tasks, so you're sharing it as simple as that. But then there is another technique, a better technique, which is called few shots learning. You see, in few shots prompting, what happens is you share examples, and then the AI tool or Copilot will follow your examples to generate the response. So, for instance, um, for instance, let me put this here aside. Let me go to the Copilot window we started earlier. Yeah, just gonna go for Copilot, and I'm talking now about few shots learning. All right. So for instance, let's say generate a question about um, world literature. Why not? Okay. So did you get the result? Try this question. Try this prompt. All right. Try the same prompt and tell me if you will get the same result, because some of you will not get the same result. All right. And if I go to another different Copilot and try the same, I will get different results. This is my Copilot. Just go into web. And this is Copilot in Teams, right? And I'm gonna ask to generate a question. And there you go. Look at this. I got my question, but this is not how I want it. So the first thing that we agreed on yesterday is that if you can't visualize the final output that you want, then don't expect Copilot to be able to achieve what you want, because it's not a magical wand. Yeah. So visualize it. I want a question, I want certain options, and I want to highlight the correct answer. Brilliant. Convert this design that you visualized into a prompt. So generate a question, all right, about world literature. Now you can add few shots prompting example. All right. And the example here says hello, bonjour, and then so on, and then so on. And that's the example. Yeah. I can do it in a different way. I can say, okay, I can say question and then options and then correct answer. As simple as that. Yeah. And then send this to Copilot. Now the question format is different. Now it's learning from me. And if I have more than one learning few shots to share, I could have done it this way. I could have asked first, and then I know you can't see clearly, so let me try to zoom in. And then I will go to a new line, add three hyphens or three hashtags. We call this sectioning in prompt engineering. And then go all the way down, add another ones, go here, add another example here. And then another section, another example. That if you have more than one example to share with Copilot. So this is few shots prompting, all right? Next is chain of thoughts prompting. You see, in this example here, we were like, if a train leaves at 3 p.m. and travels 60 kilometers per hour for 2 hours, what time does it arrive? And explain your reasoning. You see, usually our question ends here. yeah, where you will get the answer straight away, but then you would not know how it did it. Another example like this one, you see, it arrives at this time. Done. That's the answer. How did you do it? I don't know because you did not ask. So you can say explain your reasoning. You can say explain your chain of thoughts ending with your conclusion. You can phrase it the way you want. All right. Thank you, Felucio. Felucio, if I'm saying it right, and I'm sorry if I didn't. You see, the difference between the first answer, let me try to zoom this part a little bit, reduce this guy here. Okay, so this was the first answer. And after we added the reasoning, now we know how it did it. Another question could be here in chain of thoughts. If you ask Copilot, what is the most easy or the easiest sport to learn, but most difficult to master? Then you might get a result. But based on what? Based on what criteria Copilot decided that this sport, whether it's football or cricket or basketball, it fits the description, you don't know. But if you ask Copilot for the reasoning, then it will tell you, okay, now let's define the criteria for easiest to learn. Then these are the criteria. These are the matching sports. Let's go for difficult to master. And then these are the criteria. So it will explain the ideas. And the best model in doing this is actually reasoning models. So if I go to a researcher, for instance, in Copilot, and then I asked the researcher in Copilot, I should have, okay, I'm gonna, okay. I go here and then I ask the same question on my researcher. See, the researcher is a deep search model and a reasoning model, and they work best in explaining how they achieved something. All right. Of course, it's going to ask you questions at the beginning in order to understand your inquiry better, and that's the first difference between the normal chat and the reasoning chat in the researcher. But if you don't have answer, just type go ahead. So I'm going to type go ahead. And it will work on it. Meanwhile, while it's working, let's go back to our lesson that we generated by Copilot. We were on step 4, prompting, all right? Step 5 is role-based prompting. It's part of the new update. So if you're using if you're using the Copilot application, you can access it. If you go to Microsoft, if you go to m365.cloud.microsoft.com, you will be able to access it, or just type office.com and you will access it. But if you're in Teams, once you access Copilot in Teams, yeah, on the right hand side of the screen, you will find under agents, researcher, and an analyst in here. You see, it's already explaining, by the way, yeah, it's already explaining here the logic. It's been telling us what it followed and what process, what calculation, yeah, questioning time calculations, clarity, revising the time and formulating consistency, and so on. So it's already explaining the reasons for you without even asking for it to explain the reasons. That's the main difference between a researcher and a normal chat. On top of this, the explanation in here is really good. You see? So that was that. Now, let's go to point number 5, which is role-based, and that's when I said you are a professional prompt engineer, all right? You are a coach, yeah? You're a coach, give advice to someone switching from finance to tech, yeah? So it will use the right tone of a coach tone and so on. So it's best for simulations, advice, or tone-specific output. Number 6, instruction and constraining the prompt. So you want a paragraph, how many characters? You wanted a summary, how many bullet points? And so on. So for instance, write a 100-word summary of this article in a formal tone. You're being more specific, 100-word. Okay? Okay, we'll come to this practical activity in a bit. Do you have any questions so far? Do you have any question? No questions? I have a question. Back to your phone and help me matching the goal, the context, the source, the expectation for this prompt. If the starting prompt is summarize this Word document, this is the starting point prompt. So help me matching the goal, the GCSE in short. And if you missed this part and you still want to join, please scan the QR code or access the link that I will put on the chat window. So, Mr. Folusho, I think you did not get the new updates yet. Yeah, they're rolling the updates now, so you will receive them within the coming days. Well,
Palette letter. Palette.
and please mute Arshad. I'm gonna mute you from here. Okay, Prince. Well, Senor, if I got you right, you didn't get the question on the Kahoot. Oh, sorry, on the Walk Lab. Did you join the same link I shared? Hamid, did you join the same link I shared?
Sorry, I have a problem with my laptop now, so I'm listening through the cell phone while I'm watching on the laptop. So there's an audio problem I have. So I haven't joined on the link that you put in the chat at the moment. I'm following you as you presenting. So my question there was, I would like to hear more about like your ethical use of Copilot within Teams for research output generation. I just can't get it. You know, where are the thin line for ethical purposes, I suppose.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, Copilot uses the same model used by OpenAI, the reasoning model. Yeah, and the good thing about those models is that um, they never copy and paste information. They always generate what we call original content. So this is like the person who goes and read multiple researches and then write his own research or her own research. Yeah. So this is Copilot. And another good thing is that whatever content it generates, it always share references and sources and from where it got this information or drove this conclusion. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, there was I was writing a specific article, for example, and I've prompt asked a Copilot to put in information, and I said, "Can you give me the most recent um, source or reference source for the
Hmm,
following information?"
hmm,
Then it comes up with a few other references as well, which I then, when I click on it, takes me, for example, to maybe a Google Scholar or another website where I can actually access that source to read about it and to see whether it addresses what I wrote within that particular paragraph. Uh,
hmm. I didn't get I didn't get what you're referring to.
no, what I'm saying is what you have said now. I believe what you're saying is correct because what I've done previously, I would take a piece of writing that I write and I would put it in there and ask Copilot, for example, to give me a source that can match that
Hmm.
of what I have written, so that I can actually use a scientific reference towards that.
Yes, sir.
And then it
Yes, sir.
brings up resources that can actually, then when you read those sources, it addresses what you're saying there.
True.
And then you can actually reference it and acknowledge the source.
Yes, sir. 100%. 100%.
So I want to just also check with you. When I, for example, write a literature review, for example, and I want that a literature review because I've done it before in Atlas TI when you code and you try to sort of analyze the data, the literature data. So I wonder if you for an analytical purposes, if I ask AI to analyze, for example, one, two, three, four documents for me,
Hmm.
um, they the response that comes from there, how do you use that within a paper that you are writing without being accused of unethical behavior?
Well, if you generate content with AI tools, there's nothing unethical about it. Okay. Because as I said, it never copies the data as it is. It always adds its own touch. And by crafting your prompt and mentioning what you want, you're adding your own touch as well. So there is no harm of leveraging content as it is from the data generated. The problem is if I don't review it, this is not ethical now. The problem is if I don't review the content, I might end up with something which is not really. It might have issues, mistakes, hallucinations. I need to check the facts. I need to check the sources, and so on. But ethics wise, that's why generative AI is there in the first place to help us get rid of the routine tasks and repetitive tasks. Yeah, I can open a Word document and keep staring at the screen for like 10 minutes before I start drafting. I have the idea, but it takes me time to actually draft it. I have the sources, but I need a lot of time for me to go search for the information from the different sources and then draft. This is automated now using Copilot, and there is nothing unethical about it.
Thank you.
right.
That's a great response. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Prince. You're welcome. All right, I shared with you one link on the chat window that will take you to this page here. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to download this sample file and add them to your OneDrive for Business. Yeah, once you have them in OneDrive for Business, you will be able to follow my examples. All right, so let's begin with our first exercise. Our first point that we will discuss from our agenda is to summarize with Copilot. Okay, and to summarize with Copilot, we're gonna try this in Word first. So fire up Microsoft Word. And once you open Microsoft Word, you see Copilot icon here, and this is good for drafting and asking questions and so on. But if you want to summarize something, maybe you want to open that document that you want to summarize first. And the first document that we will be working on is the market analysis report. Yeah, market analysis report for Mystic Spice Premium. That's the document we want to use. I'm just going to copy the name on the chat window. You have to download the file first. You have to download the file. Someone said I cannot access this. You have been denied. Well, this is your company. Yeah, that's your company policy. I'm sorry. But what you can do is you can generate the file. Okay, so I'm gonna help you generating the file by asking Copilot to write a prompt to generate a similar file. Write a prompt to generate similar content of this document. Let's see if it will do it or not. Okay, here is the prompt for you to generate a similar document because you cannot download this document. Okay, so here is the prompt. There you go. Use this prompt and generate your own document in OneDrive for Business. Make sure it's in OneDrive for Business. Okay, so now I have the document on, and you can see I have the market analysis for a fiction product called Mystic Spice Premium Chai. Yeah, it's a karak at the end, but it's premium, right? So we got introduction, product description, market trends, and so on, competitive analysis, and so on, right? So these are all the pages of this document. I ain't got time to review all of this, so I will click here on Copilot, and then I will choose summarize from the first ready-made prompts that I have in Copilot here. All the way at the top, I got summarize this document. I'm gonna click on summarize. It writes the prompt for me. Let me enlarge this so you can see clearly. It wrote the prompt for me here, and then I can send the prompt immediately in order to get my summary. Now, is this a good prompt? No, it's not a good prompt. Why? Because I need to add some context. So maybe I go like summarize this document. Yeah, but let me add some context. And my context will be, there you go. I'm going to add the context here. Let me zoom in. So summarize this document with a brief overview of the main points to discuss with my team during the tomorrow's sales meeting. Is this a good prompt? Yes. Is there a better prompt? Yes. All right. So a better prompt would be adding the source. All right. And the source would be the section on competitive analysis. That's exactly the section here on competitive analysis. That's exactly what I want to summarize. However, the best prompt is when I add my expectation and go like, please keep the summary to 5 points and use simple language. So my final prompt would look something like this. So I want my request to summarize, yeah, summarize the section on competitive analysis. I've added the source in the Word document with a brief overview of the main points to discuss with my team during meeting. Please keep the summary 5 points and so on. And that is an effective prompt. That's the best prompt to write. Copilot is working, and I got my result after the prompt. This is the prompt, and this is the generated results. I was able to summarize 5 points on a particular section. This is the final prompt I will copy and share with you, yeah, for you to use it. So this is the first example on how to write an effective prompt, even to summarize. You could have used this button here to summarize, but look, this is not what I want. Yeah, so to tailor the response to what you really need, you need to work on your prompt. We say in prompting, like any other process, garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't pay some effort in preparing your prompt, visualizing the output, crafting the prompt, the tool will not pay any effort in generating the right answer that you want. All right. So let's try this again. So for this scenario, we want to use Mystic Premium Try. However, this is a PowerPoint now, yeah. So I'm gonna launch up my PowerPoint. Get the PowerPoint here so you can see it. I don't need the Word document anymore. Here is my PowerPoint. All right. Now I will fire up Copilot at the top right part of your home tab on PowerPoint. And again, I have summarized this presentation. I can just simply send that. Yeah. But is it going to be the one that I want? You know by now that it's not going to be the one that I want. Now, summarize this presentation. Well, yeah, that works. But then, if I want a good prompt, I would add a part where I say, for my boss, that includes an overview of the main points before a meeting with their client. This is kind of a good prompt. Is there a better one? Definitely, because I did not even mention the source. Yeah, summarize what basically. Maybe summarize this presentation, but I want you to focus on slides number 5, 10, 5 to 10 on this PowerPoint presentation. That's my source. Yeah, I'm focusing on certain slides, 5 to 10. All right, this range. Now, what is the best prompt? When I add my expectations and I go like, you know what? I want you to please format this main points as bullet list and use a professional tone. So my final prompt would look like this. Let me send it and then zoom in. So summarize the slides from 5 to 10 in this PowerPoint to the rest of the prompt that I shared with you earlier, that I will share with you, right? So there we go. I got my summary. So 5 to 10, here is the summary. Slide 5, this is the details, 1 of 2, all right? Slide 6, there we go. And then 7, and then 8, and then 9, formatted the way I want. So prompting works. I'm sharing the prompt so you can try it at your end. Before I jump into another example, and this example will be on Excel. So we will use Contoso Chai Tea Market Trends file. I'm gonna fire up this file, and there we go. I got my content. Just remember, if you have content that you want to Copilot to work on in Excel, you need to format it as table. Yeah, click on format as table and just choose any format that you want. Yeah, this will give the data a named range in here that you can later on rename it if you want. Yeah, you can go to formulas and then name manager on formulas and then change this table 1 to trends, for instance. Yeah, just to have, if you have multiple tables, now you have them named, so you know exactly the location, where are they, and you can reference this with Copilot. So I'm going to click on Copilot, and then I will on Home tab, and then I will click on Copilot, and then I will ask Copilot to summarize. Yeah. So I can summarize using a pivot table or chart. So basically, I'll click on summarize here, and then it would look at the trends and come up with a summary of this document, yeah, or of this data in here. So the summary could be a table and a graph. It depends on the data that I have. So this is the summary. I can click on add to a new sheet and then add this one to a new sheet, and I get my pivot table of the summary that I receive. Yeah, by clicking here on go back to data, I will go back to the main sheet and carry on. But we're here to write prompts, and our prompt is just gonna do it differently this way. Copy, and then let me just copy my prompt. Easier this way, easier than typing it. Okay, so I can zoom and you can see with me immediately what I'm doing. Check this out. So I'm gonna start my prompt by let's say analyze this table in Excel. All right, that's my starting point, that's my goal. I need to add some context. Why do I need this summary? Well, I need this summary because we're looking for the top selling products from May through August for the Arsenal chai sales for whatever. I added my context. Okay, I need to specify some source. So the source could be the part where I said actually from May through August. That's the source as well. Okay, and then to make a better version of this prompt, I would say, you know what, please summarize the top selling products for each month. And I can send this prompt to Mr. Copilot, wait for Copilot to work. And now we're getting specific results based on what we need. Okay, the good thing in Copilot in Excel, I don't need to talk to it in Excel. I don't need to say, oh, column D or column E. I can say social media engagement, and then it knows what column I'm referring to. Okay, if I want to keep this data, I'll click on add to new sheet, and here is the new data summarized. All right, if you have enough data, Copilot will start generating graphs as well. Okay, that's another way to summarize. A third way to summarize is recapping a meeting, and for this I'm going to use our meeting. So I will click on Copilot icon on our meeting. The Copilot icon will pop the Copilot panel, and then I will start recapping. I can say recap this meeting, and then of course it will recap the meeting, but not the way I want. Yeah. So I'll go like, you know what? Let me tell it why I want to recap this meeting. Well, senor, because I was a little bit late, yeah, to attend, and I need a brief overview of the project timeline. Yeah. Well, and because the project manager, okay, let's say, okay, I'm gonna have to tweak this a little bit to work for us. And did um, did Prince ask any question? Okay. A brief overview of the project timeline? No. A brief overview of the um, main points discussed. All right. I need a brief overview of the main points discussed, and then I'm specifying the source by saying, did Prince ask any question? Yeah. So at the end, what I want is to include what I want at the end is to include okay, include the main points, titles, and details in a table, and um, another and another table for the questions asked by Prince or anyone else. There you go. So imagine with me, you're on the go. You're joining a meeting from your phone, and you're driving. The good thing in Copilot on phone is that you can speak to Copilot. You press the mic, and then you don't have to write the prompt. You tell Copilot what you want, and then you will get the recap the way you want. So there you go. Recap of the meeting based on our prompt. All right. So main points discussed. Welcome and introduction. The housekeeping rules. Right. So housekeeping. Okay. Certification requirements. Webinar topics. And then this happens. So you saw the prompts. We got an error. But if we want it, we can run the prompt again, and hopefully this time it will not run into any error. So that was summarizing content in Microsoft Teams. You see, our next step will be summarizing content in Outlook. So we got the summary, and we got the questions asked, and specifically Prince, right? And beside Prince, some other questions from our fellow here, Folosho. I'm still not sure if I'm saying that right. And there we go. I would like to know more about the ethical use of Copilot for research, about output generation, yeah, and how do I access the researcher? And these were the questions actually on this call. Yeah, so that's another way to summarize through Teams meetings, or after the meetings, or before the meetings, to prep the agendas and so on. Hello to you from South Africa. All right. Now, let's summarize some emails. You see, here is way easier, because in an email, if you have a very long thread of emails, sometimes it happens 30 emails, and then someone on email number 30 just decides to loop me in. Sir, I need to read all of that to give you my opinion. So not with Copilot, not anymore. So what I can do is I'll simply click on Summary by Copilot. The minute I click Summary by Copilot, Copilot will look at the whole thread and then it will give me the summary of this thread. It's like you initiated a discussion on aligning AI and so on, and then this one said so, this one said so, and so on. And if you have follow-up questions about this topic, feel free to click on Ask Copilot. So once you click on Ask Copilot, a Copilot panel will open. And this is where you go like, you know what? I want to summarize this email conversation, but why? I need to add some context. Well, because I need a brief overview of the action item assigned to me from the project plan that was sent earlier. All right, why not? And then I want you to create a table that's the expectations now. Yeah, and earlier was the source. So expectations, I'm expecting Copilot to create a table containing, yeah, it started working. I'm gonna have to wait for it to move a little bit up. All right. So we want to create a table containing all of the action items and assigned owners and highlighting the items assigned to me. Yeah, I'm gonna copy this prompt and share it with you in order to try it at your end. So here is the prompt, and here is the generated content. Okay, I have I have this part here where it says, you know what, in this email titled so and so, the team is acknowledged of their progress and so on, and it gave me a good description and summary. All right, but then here are the action items. All right, the action item assigned to who exactly, and so on. And if I want to keep this data or take it somewhere, I can simply click on copy. Yeah, fire up wherever you want to take it to. Could be Word document, for instance, and then paste it here. Or maybe you have an email you want to write. You can paste it on an email body as well. All right, and that was summarizing in Outlook. Okay, do you have any questions so far? Okay, we have something here. I have an active Microsoft license, but I'm unable to see the Copilot button in Word, Excel, or any other Office applications. The button does not appear in the top. Okay. How to enable the Copilot, right? I need to attend to another community. Will listen to the recording. All right, Prince. Pleasure having you here. Okay, so Mr. Hamid Amiri. Mr. Hamid Amiri, you see, please um, go to File on any Word, PowerPoint, and so on. Excel, go to File tab, the backstage, and then click on Account at the bottom left corner of your screen. Once you click on Accounts, you'll be able to see what's included in your license, and you should see Copilot in here. Confirm that you see Copilot in here. If you see Copilot, it means you have the Copilot license and you can use it. If you don't see it, it means you don't have the license and you cannot use it. If you see the icon and you still don't find Copilot on the Home tab, you might need to click on Update License. If that still doesn't solve the problem, you need to contact your IT, sir. Yeah, you don't have the Copilot license in your, yeah. So reach out to your IT at Qatar Foundation, and they should help you by assigning the license to you. Next question. How exactly to ask from Copilot to summarize some email? How to show these emails to the Copilot? Yeah, just open up the email and then open the panel of Copilot. That's it. That's one way. Open up the email and then summarize it from Copilot. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to go to Copilot in Microsoft Teams. Yeah, and in Copilot in Microsoft Teams, what you can do is write a prompt, summarize these emails, all right, and then type a forward slash or click on the plus icon, all right. Oh, sorry, I'm on web. I have to switch to work. Summarize these emails. There we go. And then click on the plus sign, add content, emails, pick the emails that you want. So I'm going to choose this email, and I'm going to choose another one, which is okay. All right. So this is corporate data, so I want to use something public. That's why I spent some time. So I've chosen two emails. They're both invitations to the same event. So my point is add the emails that you want here in Teams, and then you can get your summary in one place. But in Outlook, you're going to need to fire up the email first and then ask Copilot to summarize like what I did here. I opened the email, one of the emails thread, and then I went to Copilot icon at the top right corner of your screen right here. All right. And then I clicked on Copilot in order to chat with Copilot. Your mic is opened. I don't know who. I think Putty. I'm gonna mute you from here. Yes. All right. Now let's move to our second point. We've seen summarization. Let's see some drafting. Okay. And in order to do drafting, I'm gonna need to ask you a question first. Do you still have the interactive tool on your phone? Yeah, you still have this one. So based on your current learning, please match the goal, context, source, expectation. If the starting point was to draft a marketing proposal. I'm waiting for your answers. The tool is here. Copy. There you go. Shared. The tool is shared on the chat window, and the QR code is there for you to try. Okay. Let's see some answers. These are the most frequent answers. However, the correct answer is, all right. So the goal is to draft a marketing proposal, but then some context where I want to draft this proposal for Contoso's latest product, yeah, a cipher guard, and then we need to generate 3 ideas for the marketing campaign, yeah. The source is use the product specification and requirement, yeah, because we will attach a product specification document. Then this is your expectation. Let's see this happening. So if I add the same exact prompt in here, I hope you can see this. Let me just zoom in a little bit. All right. So I'm drafting this word, this content, yeah, and I want Copilot to refer to a certain document. So what I can do is I can click on reference a document, and by clicking, let me admit, and by clicking on reference a document, Copilot will ask me what document. I can start typing the name of the document. It's called Contoso. Sorry, it's called Contoso Cipher. All right. All right, there you go. Product specification. That's what I want to mention because I said on my source, refer to the product specification and requirement document. So now what I'm doing, I'm generating content, but not out of the blue, leveraging my existing documents. So you can relate now. Generate a job description based on this requirement. I have this project. I want to generate the different roles within this project scope and requirement, yeah, and so on. Once you generate the content, you can click on keep it in order to keep it. And there we go. We got the marketing proposal, yeah. And our marketing proposal has a product overview, yeah. We got the marketing campaign ideas. We got the campaign idea. There we go. These are all the ideas and a conclusion as we requested. All right. So this was the prompt that I used for you to try it at your end. I'm gonna share the document. I'm gonna share the link on the same post where I added the file to download, because if you want to do this after the session, at least it's a bit organized. So the last message, I edited it and I added the prompt as well. All right. Do you have any questions so far? Okay. If you don't have any question, I have another prompt for you and another file to download, and they are shared on the chat window as we speak. All right. Take a look at it. And let's go for a new document this time. And on my new document, I'm going to paste my prompt where actually, sorry, this one we want to work on PowerPoint because we've tried Word. Yeah. Let's go to PowerPoint. And now what we want is to draft. Yeah. So we want to create a new presentation. Notice that when you click on Copilot, you can actually create presentations from files and you can create presentations about a topic. All right. So create a presentation from a file. So I'm gonna click on create a presentation from a file. It added the forward slash, waiting for me to type the name of the file that I want. And the name that I want is market trend report, which is this file, market trend report for a product, for a protein shake product. Is this enough? No, because I did not add no context, no expectations, right? So what I will add next is all of the other pieces that makes this an effective prompt. So here is the final prompt as I shared it on the chat window. So Copilot is agreeing with me on the outline first. It goes like, you know what, here is the outline that I will generate, introduction, the viral reel, and so on. So what I will do for you to compare, we called it market trend analysis. No, not this one. For protein shake. So this is the actual report. This is the generated presentation. So on the actual report, this is what I have. I have the viral reel, okay, key factors behind the hype, all right, and then impacts on the market position and a conclusion, all right. That's the actual document that we referred to. What did we get? This presentation. Animation is there. It created the design for me. This is the agenda. It added a good images as well for me, all right. There we go. And on every page, it even adds a presenter point, a presenter notes, yeah, for me to read those notes during the presentation. All right. So this was writing an effective prompt to generate presentations from an existing Word document. Any questions so far? Okay. Now, for the next part, let me add Suzanne or Susan, one of them. Our next step is to see how to draft, because we've seen how to draft in Word, how to draft a PowerPoint presentation. Now we want to see how to draft an email. So I'm gonna go to emails, to my sorry, I have to switch my email to my training email. Old habits. Okay. So so this is the email that I want to draft. I'll just click on the right in the body, the complete prompt for what, Kareem? For the PowerPoint. It's on the line, on the message right above your message with the document. I'm just gonna reply to that here. Now, in emails, there is no actual prompt. The prompt is the request that you want. So what you do is you click in the body of the email and then you click at the Copilot icon. This will open the Copilot panel where you have some suggested prompts in here that you can use immediately, or you can type your own prompt. What do you want to draft? Yeah. So maybe I want to thank everyone attended my webinar today, and send that to Copilot by pressing send or hit enter on your keyboard. So I got the email. I have the choice to either keep it, discard it, retry it again, and generate a new content, or make it shorter, or make it longer, or change the tone. So if I click on change the tone, now I can choose for this email to be direct, casual, formal. Because I like everyone here, I'm gonna make you a palm. So choose the tone that you want, and Copilot will change the tone that you want. Hello, everyone. I hope you are all well. Today we gathered stories to tell and so on. Yeah. But if that doesn't suit your organization context, then definitely you can switch to formal. And the tone is changed now. And the good thing is that Copilot here keeps track of the history of data, or history of content generated. So I can switch back to a previous part because I want to borrow something from here and so on. Once you're satisfied, you click on keep it, and that concludes um, uh, our demo. But if you want to make it harder to yourself, well, which is good, yeah. You can write a short prompt or use a suggested prompt, but you will modify it a lot. Or you can just write a very long prompt detailing what you want, as we agreed earlier, and you will definitely get a satisfying result. I'm going to share the prompt, the recent prompt I added to draft an email on the chat window. There is no file to be downloaded in here. Now, we've seen how to draft content in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all that. But how about drafting content in a form of a brainstorming session with Copilot? Can I brainstorm with Copilot? Of course you can brainstorm. It's a Gen AI, yeah. So the easiest thing to do is to brainstorm with it. So what I can do now is to jump to Copilot in Teams, for instance, yeah. So you can use work or web as you please, based on your example, all right, or based on your scenario. Work is for work content, web is for general inquiries. So I'm gonna build this prompt this way, and then we will explain the details of the prompt as we go. So the basic part of the prompt, the goal of the prompt is, let me just zoom in so you can see, first of all. That's too much zooming. Okay. Can you read? I hope you can. Okay, so in the first part, this is where what we want, build a meeting agenda for a client meeting. Or build the meeting agenda basically is the main goal. Yeah, but then we're adding some context, and we're saying this is for a client meeting. Yeah, the meeting should last for 1 hour, including the project goals, mission statement, and scheduled and completion date. So I'm done with the goal and context. Yeah, but then I want to specify the source, and for the source, we went like, okay, use information from this document, Contoso, CipherGuard, product, and so on, and look for open items and unanswered questions. That's the source. And then my expectation is the last part. The agenda should be in a table format with all and so on and so on till the end of the prompt. And this is the result that I received. There we go. Client meeting agenda. Let me copy this prompt so you can use it. It's leveraging the same file that we downloaded earlier. If you don't have the option, just to answer this question, if you don't have these options, it means you don't have the Microsoft 365 Copilot license. So you need to ask your team to add the license to you. So if you don't see work or web, that means by default, you're working in web. So your Copilot doesn't see your data. So client meeting agenda with Contoso. There we go. We got the topic, we got the timing, we got the description of the details, and it leveraged the document that I mentioned. And if I want, I can follow up with some of these suggestions. It could be drafting a slide for the meeting, including open items for a specification and so on. Or I can write my own to follow up with Copilot. Any question? Okay, so I'm gonna prepare some documents for you to download. Yeah. On the chat window, that's the first document. This is the second document. Copy link. So you would see what I'm doing. I'm adding the second document in here, and I'm adding the third document that we will use in this part of the agenda, which is mainly editing and transforming content. All right, so we tried summarizing, we tried drafting. Now we want to edit some content. So we will see different capabilities using the files I just shared with you. All right, so please download those sample files. And add them to your OneDrive for Business. Now, so let's try writing, organizing, and transforming content using Microsoft 365 Copilot in Word. Okay. So the idea that we want to do here is to generate some content first, and then we will modify the content. Okay. So let me show you. When I access Microsoft Word, we have a lot to discuss. That's why I didn't give any break on this session. Unlike yesterday, we had a break. Hopefully, next sessions we will have a break. So yeah, so we want to ask Copilot to visualize as a table. Yeah, and we need a clear way to. Okay, leave this part. Let me generate the content first. Here. Sorry, I got the wrong prompt at the wrong time. Okay, so we're not gonna start from scratch. Based on my prompt, I'm gonna start with my graphics design document that you just downloaded. So, what is the G Graphics Design Institute employee benefits? Okay. So this is the document. So you would take a look at what we have in this document. Meanwhile, and then let me show you how to edit, because we've seen how to prompt. Yeah, take a look at this other benefits part. So for instance, I can select this other benefits area, all of it. All right, and then click on Copilot, and Copilot will pop a couple of options. I can write a prompt to edit it now. So this prompt could be change the tone, yeah, elaborate, make it shorter, whatever you want to modify. Change the tone to suit C-level executives and so on. Or I can just simply paraphrase and auto rewrite it. Or I can click visualize as a table, and that's what I will do. I'll click on visualize as a table. Copilot will keep the source as it is, and then it will add a new table at the end. Okay, if the data can actually be generated in multiple columns, then it can do that. If it can't, it's just gonna keep it as one column. All right. So what I can do is, to summarize, I'm gonna take everything from health until here, and then I will ask Copilot to visualize as a table. So you got the category, and then we got the benefits, and here we go. It's another way to summarize health and wellness. That's the short of it, short version of it, and so on. And if I want to follow up with a prompt, I can write a prompt here. I can say change the tone to a conversational tone, for instance, just to try that I can really change the tone of the generated content. Here we go. We've got you covered with health insurance for medical, dental, and vision needs. All right, so I've changed the tones. I can click on keep it to keep it now. And that was editing content. By the way, I'm not showing you every Copilot capability. I'm showing you samples, examples of what Copilot can do. Yeah. Then we tackle the details of every Copilot application in another webinar, which is the product-based webinar series. All right. So for our next demo, we will go to the Mystic Spice Premium Chai. All right, which was generated by Copilot, of course. And now we want to ask Copilot to add a new slide for us. Yeah. So here is the prompt. I will paste it on the chat window first. Add a new slide, and then I will paste it here. So maybe it's easier to read it from the chat window at your end. So we're adding a new slide to the PowerPoint presentation summarizing the latest market trends to premium chai and so on. And we completed the request, okay? And then it did actually add the new slide for us. Here it is, the current market trends with the details, and then presenter notes. Yeah. Again, I can select this part, or just on the box, just click on the Copilot icon, and same options. I can auto rewrite, I can make it condensed, I can make it more professional, I can change the tone of this generated content, or write a prompt to add an image or to add a new slide. And if you have a presentation that doesn't have presenter notes, ask Copilot here to add presenter notes to all slides, and so on. Okay, any question? Okay, so you see this content here. It's a dummy content, of course, from the Fabricam Q1 marketing campaign. I'm gonna go to Copilot, and what we're doing is editing, right? So to edit, one of the ways that I can do is to apply color and formatting. So I can click on apply color and formatting, or type highlight all cells with value, let's say less than what do we have here? Less than 500, and then send that to Copilot. That was my prompt. I'm highlighting the cells which is less than Copilot, less than 500. Copilot will explain to me its understanding first before applying this on the data. So it goes like, okay, let me make sure that I got it right. Cells values less than 500. I'm gonna apply this color formatting because I did not mention on my prompt the color formatting that I wanted. So if I'm satisfied, I click apply. It will take a second and then it will apply this on the table as you can see. As for sorting, filtering, all of this is doable. Remember when we named the table here, table one? Yeah. So maybe I would go for sort this table, and usually I have to mention the table name because we named it. That to be more specific, because in your Excel sheet you might have multiple tables. So my table is sort this table, table table one, yeah, and then the rest of the request. Send that to Copilot. Let's take a minute reading it to look for the most impactful salesperson and highlight the top and bottom campaign owner based off the net revenue, right? So there you go. It goes like, okay, let's confirm the understanding now. Here is the custom sort of revenue. Top one, I'm going to apply this one. All right. Bottom, I'm going to apply this one. Does that work? Yes. Click on apply. It will take a second and then it will apply this in here. Okay. And by the way, you could have broke it into two prompts. You can do the first part first and then do the second part. And there are other things to explore. Yeah. So let me tell you what else you can do. You can go like bold the top values in the sales column. That's one option. Highlight the highest value in units sold. As I told you, you can speak based on the column names. All right. And then sort engagement rate from smallest to highest. Filter to items that are due next week. So these are all options that you can actually do. I'm afraid this one might run into an error because it doesn't take this long every time. Meanwhile, we will see our last example here, which is rewriting a message and reviewing some content in Outlook. Remember this email we generated together? Yeah, based on the last prompt. I want to check my writing style. So I'm gonna click on Copilot at the top right corner of my screen, and from Copilot I'll choose coaching. So Copilot now will look at my writing style, analyze it, and come up with ideas to enhance my writing style, to enhance the tone, to keep it positive. Yeah. So here's some suggestions about the reader sentiment, some suggestions for you. Clarity and other suggestions here. If you like those suggestions, you can just click on apply all suggestions, and Copilot will give you a preview of these suggestions combined with your email. This is how it will look. You're going to read it, review it. You're satisfied with this, you click on replace. Now you have your final email modified. That's another way to edit content with Copilot. Our last step is to ask questions from Copilot as per our agenda. Yeah, if you remember the agenda. So what we discussed so far is it's on the other tenant, so I will show the agenda later. So let's move on. Now we need to download some files for you to be able to work with this content. So access this URL that I shared on the chat window, and the URL will take you to the download sample files. Yeah. And once you download the sample files, upload them to OneDrive for Business, and then you will be able to follow my example. And my example is basically gonna start with Word, where we will ask questions about an existing document. So let's open up the existing document, which is Mystic Spice Premium. Or you know what? Let's go for the market analysis report. Yeah, this would suit my scenario better. And I will go to the Copilot icon and I will write an effective prompt. All right. So I'm not gonna section it because you know by now what's a good prompt, what's a bad prompt, and how to enhance the prompts. I'm sure you know, right? Do you? Okay, let's test it. Let's test it. All right, you have a new assignment now. Match. I'm waiting for your answers. Iman, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, I had voice issues.
Yeah, no problem. Can you please
So
check
how?
the links file on the shared folder?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Check the links file on the shared folder.
Okay, I will. 1 second, please.
All right, we got 4 answers. What about the rest? Okay, let's see the result. All right. So here is the correct answer. Most of you did this. Yeah. Let's see the right one. So we want to visualize as a table. Yeah. And then the context is that we need to clear a clear way of communication, those benefits and so on. And then the source is the employee benefits. And then this was the expectation. Include the third column that clearly describes the benefits and so on. Let's move on to the next one and the last one. Okay, let's see what we have here. So this was the matching of most of you. However, the correct answer is this one. The goal is a question. Is there a call to action? Where exactly? Source in this market analysis report. Yeah. Context. Well, um, to address our challenges and concerns, please check if the marketing plan includes a clear and specific plan of action to the rest of it. And then expectations. Well, you want suggestions of improving the call to action if necessary. Yeah. So for this one, what we can do is to try this one specifically. We would need to go to our market analysis report, the market analysis report, and then on the Copilot panel, we're going to ask the same prompt that we discussed. There we go. And let the magic happen. So that was the prompt. This is the result. All right. If it says this, just run it again. If it says I cannot directly access the content or something, do it again. Yeah, close the Copilot and then try it again. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to select everything on the document and then ask the question. Not here, in here. There you go. Now it answered. Now the market analysis report for Mystic Spice Premium Charity and so on, and it got you the answer that you want. This is the prompt I used on this they generate this content in here. All right. And the good thing is that it has references. So when you click on the reference, it takes you on the document to where in the document exactly it summarized that part or got that information from. All right. Okay. So do you have any question for me? No questions? Are you sure? Not clear. All right. All right. That means that means I've done a good job. Yeah. So we're gonna need these two documents that you will download from that you downloaded already when I shared with you the first link, right? And that will be an activity for you. Download these documents and use the Word document in the PowerPoint in order to run this prompt. All right, and get the result. At the end, I've showed you capabilities on how to write prompts the right way in order to draft content, summarize content, edit content, and so on. At the end, I want to thank you all for joining this session and for your engagement and participation. And stay tuned for future sessions and future webinars. Yeah, where we will dive deeper into Copilot actions and Copilot in different applications. For now, would like to hear from you your valuable feedback. So on the chat window, I've shared a feedback link. Please share with us your feedback. How did we do on this session and what to enhance for the future sessions? Once you're done with the feedback, please claim and redeem your digital badge. All right. So this is a link for your achievement code. Yeah. So you're gonna click on this link and sign in to Microsoft Learn website, and then it will walk you through creating a profile, and then click on back to learn where you will redeem. If you created the profile and then no code appeared for you to redeem, come back and click on the link again, because you signed in. It will redeem the certificate. Once you redeem the certificate, let me show you what you will get, and how to access your certificate, right? So you're in Microsoft Learn. On Microsoft Learn, after creating your profile, you're gonna click on your profile and click profile. Yeah. Once you click profile, this page will open, and then you click on achievements. Yeah. So let me do that. That's profile. This is achievements. And under achievements, don't look at modules. You need to switch to learning path. So the steps are as follow. You click on your profile, go to profile, click on achievements, and then click on learning path. To see the actual course content, you will click on the link. That's for the course content. Okay, you will click on the link. But if you don't want to see the course content and you want to print your certificate, make sure you click on print certificate. All right, by clicking on print certificate. Or if you want to share it to social media, click on share to social media. Feel free to share it to LinkedIn or and don't forget to tag me. So at the end, I want to thank you all for joining this session. And if you have any question, I've added my LinkedIn account. You can type your questions on the chat window here. We still have access after the webinar. If you want to connect, I'll be more than happy. Link me in LinkedIn, and we will take the discussions further after the session. I have a newsletter where I updated with tutorials, content, and news, and so on. Feel free to subscribe. And I've shared with you my humble YouTube channel where I upload usually the webinars I do and all that. So feel free to subscribe there as well. And you know what they say, your network is your net worth. Thank you all for joining again. I wish you all the best on your future endeavors. And our doors are open for you. If you have any questions, we don't close our doors at the end of the sessions. We're there for you. Just reach out, and we will be more than happy to help and assist. Kareem, do you talk about Copilot? Then we can open through Microsoft window, right? I didn't get that question, Kareem.
Oh,
Kareem, if you
Ayman,
can elaborate or speak.
Ayman.
Yes.
Yes, I'm asking about this link of redeeming the code. It's not
Yeah.
visible and it's not active where you have placed it. I don't know
You
what's
see,
happening.
I clicked on the link right now. You see my screen?
Hmm.
And because
Yes, I can
I'm
see.
signed in, it immediately asked me to redeem. So you might want to sign in and then click on the link again.
Did you share it in the chat box?
Yes, it's
Oh,
here.
yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, I got it. I got it. Thank you so much. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome.
Bye.
Back to you, Kareem.
Ah, that's good.
Mariam Abdulaziz, Ma Abdulaziz, but Mariam, right? So what's wrong with the code? It works fine at my end. I click on it, it pops up as in a redeem dialog. Then I click on redeem and I can immediately redeem it. Yeah, but it's just because I have it, so I can't really redeem it. All right, everyone. At the end, thank you again, and I hope that you enjoyed my flight. And I will see you in the future webinars starting from tomorrow. Have a
Hello,
good one. Cheers. Salam alaikum.
hello,
Yes,
hello,
yes,
hello.
I can hear you.
Yes.
You here? Are you
I
hearing?
am. No, you're not with me, right?
Please, please, Mr. Coach, I appreciated all the
Okay,
content,
okay.
but the co-pilot that
Are you talking to me, Kareem? Because I muted you. I thought you were talking on the phone.
I
Oh.
talk to you, I
Oh,
talk to
sorry,
you.
Kareem. Sorry. Carry
Okay,
on. I'm all ears.
okay. Thank you, Coach, for all the content. It's very useful and interesting. Thank you. But the co-pilot that you're talking about all the session is the one that we can open through Windows, correct?
No. Well, the default one in Windows 10, that's not the one I mean. You can follow what
Because
I'm doing through the Copilot app that you can download from Microsoft 365. Sorry, from the App
ah,
Store. It's called Microsoft 365 Copilot. This is the one.
just wait, please. Just wait, please,
I'm
coach.
waiting.
We need to apply this on on the laptop, not on the smartphone.
Yeah, on the laptop, yes. Yes, sir.
So, from
Laptop.
where can I download this Copilot that you're talking about? From where?
From the App Store. But the question is, do you have the Copilot license, Kareem?
S- I don't have Copilot license.
Then you will not benefit from downloading this Copilot because this Copilot will take you to the web experience, which you can access through the web. If you go to copilot.microsoft.com, you can access the same experience. But this is more beneficial when you have the Copilot license. And to understand whether you have the Copilot license or not, go to any Microsoft 365 application like Word or PowerPoint. Go to File tab, click on File, and from File, click on Account. Here, you should see, once you click on Account, you will see the Copilot icon. If you don't see it, it means you don't have the Copilot license. It should appear
But,
right here.
but, but I have Windows 10, not Windows 365 on my laptop.
Yes, the Copilot that comes with Windows by default is a web experience. It's not the
Yeah,
Microsoft
we
365. It's not the corporate one.
yeah, I don't have access to the corporate one, honestly.
But you can try those prompts on the web one as well. It's just the prompts will work. It's just you will not be able to try the capabilities I'm doing inside PowerPoint and inside Word and inside Excel. But everything else you can do on the Copilot you have right now. And on top of this, you can download Copilot on your phone and you still can do and follow many things, right?
I can download application Copilot through Play Store.
Through the App Store or Play Store. Yes, sir. You can.
I, I can try on that application. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
You can. And you can
Thank you.
even
Thank
speak
you.
to it. You don't need to type.
Okay. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you all. Have a good one. Assalamu alaikum.